Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember MEAD magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the program. Sorry we're so late. That's my fault. I'm Tom Connors. With me is the script doctor. How you doing?
About time.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay, buddy. Happy to be here. How are you all doing in the chat?
Hopefully they're doing well. We also have with us another Canadian, Cece Karaoke.
Glad to be here. Got the first snowflakes in the air this morning and really all today. So it's got me excited for ski season.
That's funny because it's abnormally warm and humid here today. Getting rain on and off.
Think about the mountains, right? It snows early and it snows late.
This is true. Also with us today, Mr. Nick Weiser, all 32 flavors of him. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Tom. Good to hang out with you, CC Script. Hello, chat, wrenches, all you wonderful humans alike. Let's talk about some of the news today. Let's have fun.
Good, bad, I'm the one with the gun.
Props to you, Nick, on getting retweeted by Mark Miller. Man.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that was wild. I'm looking at the mic. I had like a power nap because I was like eating, like, of course I was. And all of a sudden, like, I think I was out for like 15 minutes. And all of a sudden I like opened my phone. I'm like, whoa, that's really weird. Mark Miller's, I think he subbed to my channel or something. It's really weird.
That's awesome.
So yeah, no,
you got a guy who's got a huge Netflix deal subbing to your channel.
It's really weird. I was like, it's one thing when I'll just something like, because I'm my MVP did video last week, but then I posted another one. He catches on to it immediately. I'm like, okay, he has to be subbed. That doesn't just happen by chance. So yeah, no, it's an honor and a privilege, and well, hopefully, one day I can talk with the man himself one day. So we shall see. Till then, I'll just enjoy the fact that happened because that is so cool. It's still really weird and definitely not what I expected to wake up to.
Yeah, well, I mean, one day, yes, we'll definitely have to see you interview him on your show. That would be epic.
Thank you.
I was going to say kick-ass, but I thought that'd be too
dude, I was hoping you would. Well, it feels like a very like a wanted type of interview. So yeah, see, since you won't, I will.
All right, boys, that's enough. Anyway, we have some news to talk about. Speaking of comic books, let's get right into this. We have no super chats today, so we'll just break right into the news. Jonathan Majors, we have a major update on his domestic violence case. They are adding the 2022 UK police report, and the DA slams the defense over fictional claims. Let's get into this here. A day before court hearing that could determine whether the domestic violence case against Jonathan Majors goes ahead to trial, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office Tuesday made some damning accusations against the defense and also said the UK police are now part of their prosecution. Details of the London Metropolitan Police report from over a year ago are unknown. However, medical records from the United Kingdom, photographs taken by the medical providers, and correspondence with a medical provider related to a September 2022 incident are among the new evidence prosecutors acquired, according to a recent filing in the criminal case. Yeah, New York. Majors is facing misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident and around the actor's Chelsea apartment on March 25th. Although Majors was the one who called 911 at the time, NYPD officers on the scene found a number of marks, a laceration, and a finger fracture on now ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari and arrested Jonathan Majors. He was released within hours after a hearing in front of a judge and pleaded not guilty. Majors is facing up to a year behind bars if found guilty on claims being prosecuted by DA Alvin Bragg's office. It is unknown right now if Majors will be present, either virtual or in person, in Judge Michael Gaffey's courtroom Wednesday. Rejecting a defense motion to dismiss the matter, Bragg and Assistant DA Kelly Galloway also now accuse Majors' defense team Priya Chaudhry, Seth Zuckerman, and David Winkler of fictional and meritless accusations against their office in an attempt to take the case off track. Now, I'm assuming what they're talking about is all this supposed evidence, this pile of evidence they had, that exonerated their client, if you recall. And I believe they were even making accusations that the DA and the district were going after Majors for whatever reason. I can't remember if it was racially motivated or what it was at the time they were kind of trying to put out there. But yeah, it doesn't sound like they're too happy about that. Yeah, so moving on here. They also accused the defense of spreading misinformation about non-existent video footage of the March incident and claiming charges were coming against Jabari for supposedly attacking their client. Those were the other claims that were made by them. The DA's office adds that Major's defense lawyers have been distributing a wanted flyer against Jabari in an effort to shift focus. While defendant claims people did not investigate Miss Jabari, a thorough investigation was conducted into facts of this case. And in doing so, the people have chosen to prosecute Jonathan Majors. The DA's office said in its filing, which was made October 13th, simply because defense counsel does not agree with the people's use of prosecution discretion, it does not follow that an investigation was not conducted. Despite the activation of the investigatory cart by the police, the DA's office says it has strongly recommended to NYPD detectives not to arrest Jabari, a British citizen, based on a cross complaint from Majors in June. It added that if cops did arrest Jabari, it would go nowhere fast. On September 8th, 2023 and September 12th, 2023, the prosecution informed the NYPD that the people would decline to prosecute any charges brought by the NYPD against Ms. Jabari related to the belated allegations made by the defendant regarding the incident on March 25th, 2023. Now, the reason for this is, and for the longest time they were kind of trying to put out this idea that she had skipped the country, Jabari is intended to actually be a witness for the prosecution.
Oh.
And the DA today said, the DA said today its office is paying for her to fly over from the UK. It is also paying for her lodging while in the US for the trial whenever it actually starts.
There's your tax dollars that work.
Yeah. While Majors does appear to be in the recent, it's just a bunch of blah, blah, blah for Majors. Okay. So these new, this new information brought to light on this case. What is your guys' take on this, Script Doctor?
Well, I'm curious as to why they're bringing in evidence from an outside jurisdiction into this trial. I'm assuming that they're trying to create a pattern of behavior. Because
wonder if she was also involved in this other incident, perhaps.
Yes, because it took place in the UK. She's a
Yeah.
UK citizen. He was probably there at the time, most likely shooting pickups for Quantumania or perhaps Loki. Don't know which one, but one of them is plausible. So yeah, I think it's rather fascinating. I don't really look forward to the trial, of course, obviously, but if the truth can be revealed, and if punishment is required is duly done, then that's a good sign. I do think it's a little unfortunate that they're footing the bill for her to travel over here before a court date has been officially set, because that just seems like it's a waste of money.
Well, they said whenever it does, so that means they haven't yet.
Oh, they haven't yet?
So
Okay.
it doesn't
I'm
sound
not-
like,
I
at least the way I
misunderstood
read
that.
it is that when they do find out when that date is, they will bring her over, is what they said.
Okay. Because
That was the thing is, I believe I don't know who was pushing this narrative out there, but there was a narrative being pushed out there that she had skipped the country and she wasn't going to show up, and that the case was probably going to get thrown out. My guess is that was probably his lawyers putting that bullshit out there. When really, in actuality,
then they basically just said, yes, if she's not here, then this case doesn't mean anything, which means that there's a case. Like, that's you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You're a bad defense lawyer if you reveal that.
Not only, well, we already know that. See, and this is what the thing is I think that this article is kind of telling us here, especially considering the DA is slamming his defense over the fiction. They made some pretty salacious claims against the DA and the office there. Like, so I have a feeling that this is not going to go over well for Majors and his team. But yeah, anything else to say on that script before we move to CC?
If this does go to trial, it'll probably be a couple of months of trial court TV. I don't think it's when you're dealing with a domestic, especially with international participants. And yeah, I mean, she's a UK citizen. So if she were returned to the UK, that's not necessarily skipping the country. That's going back home. And because she's not a suspect, she doesn't have to be extradited. So it's all about requests. So this is going to be interesting. And it's definitely going to put another hiccup into whatever future plans the MCU has, which are still up in the air. And that's it.
Yeah, that's going to be funny. And actually, Equalizer, that's what this article just said, is the DA claimed there is no evidence. There's no video evidence that they were claiming. There is no evidence of the incident on video. That's what, even though his defense had claimed otherwise.
Well, I mean, the defense doesn't have to reveal it until trial. So that's the other part too. They have that advantage.
My guess is they did investigate all these possible places there would have been cameras, and they didn't find jack shit. Because all the defense came out with was that fuzzy photo from a video that supposedly shows her at a club, and that's they're indicating that, oh, she was already drunk and living it up or whatever. And it's like, you gave us a fuzzy, grainy fucking picture that could have been anybody with no timestamp, no date, nothing on it to indicate where it's taken or anything like that. Like his defense, like I would never hire his defense lawyers for anything ever if I was.
Oh yeah, find out this firm and be like, nope, it's so long.
They are one of the worst I have ever seen in my life. But anyway, CC, what is your take on this? Especially as an outsider.
I'm completely jaded on all of these high profile cases now. I mean, following the case can be fun, right? Like watching things play out. There's an entertainment value in that, but I don't know what to believe. I don't believe anything from the court of public opinion or the court of law anymore. I'm just kind of like done with taking sides. Maybe they're guilty, maybe they're innocent, and that's tough. I know that's been the concern, right, for people who actually are victims. But there's just been so much bull crap with all of this that I can't trust anything anymore. Whether he's innocent or guilty, and however the court case turns out, I just can't take a side on it because I'm just a guy living in an RV in the mountains, and I wasn't a fly on the wall. I didn't witness the events, and I question everything I read and everything I see. There's no source, certainly not in Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or any of that crap that I read it and I think, oh, this is definitely true. And that goes for both sides, innocent and guilty. So I enjoy the story. It's fun. It's entertaining in that sense. But to actually have a position that I think somebody is guilty or innocent, I can't do it.
Fair enough. And really all this, I mean, to me, the main reason this is even being discussed right now is because it goes back to that initial rumor that I had heard that he had already been dumped by the MCU, right? And we're hearing of everything being overhauled up there. To me, this is more about the schadenfreude of this guy who they banked the MCU on for the next few years, pretty much destroying himself and any future prospects for this character at this point, probably.
And that's
really kind of the main thing
there,
I was
right?
figuring. Yeah.
When somebody says something that's actual, right? That's not somebody said this that might or might there may or may not be video evidence. If somebody says it into the camera and you have that video and it's not been AI'd or anything like that, whatever Jonathan Major said, you can read him and what he says. That is something you can take. And it's like with Rachel Ziegler, it's like, well, she kind of finished herself off, and that's real one way or the other. Whatever
Right.
she does or doesn't do that we don't know about.
Well, Nick, what's your take on this? Because this is just kind of piling up for Jonathan here. It seems like.
I mean, yeah, and it is, but I'm not in the position where I'm on Jonathan Majors' side per se, like, oh, I'm pro Jonathan Majors. I do think that there is still a possibility that he might be innocent. Because to this day, we still have not seen anything really favoring him or going against him. We've just been hearing words, to be fair. Obviously, his side of what they presented has not really done any favors himself. So it could definitely go both ways. Now, what is notable, this is before we knew all this prior to today, is the DA who's involved. Alvin Bragg is a very, very corrupt son of a bitch. Let's just say he's got some ties to a lot of very corrupt politicians. So either I don't know if honestly he's going to be the outcome of this case. It's who's going to be in the favoritisms of Mr. Alvin Briggs. I think that's where we're going to be figuring this out, because he's definitely not the type of guy who cares about the court of law per se. He's definitely a guy who's bought out, and he's gonna use that to his advantage. And that sadly might be the true decision of Jonathan Majors' case.
Well,
Also,
if that's the case, then why didn't Jonathan just buy his way out of this instead of talking shit to the press through his fucking attorneys?
I don't know if he can. A, B, who knows? Maybe someone else. Sounds like the system already has it out for him. That's another thing.
Well, and then there's another thing here that sounds like it may not be true, but does support the DA's case in this mess. And that was that Major's lawyers kept pushing that, that this chick is going to, she's going to drop the charges anyway, and she's not going to press any charges, and she'll, be in the defense for him. But that's not what's happening now, right? Like, they were presenting this idea that she was on his side and they were all good, and it was a misunderstanding and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, no, it could still turn around. He might walk out scot-free. I still do think, if I had to take a very wild guess and look at this objectively in a room with actual court of law with an objective judge, I would probably toss this case out. I mean, granted, I'm not a judge, but that's just, in the normie perspective saying, because it seems like all of this is meritless. There's nothing that show that he actually did the things, but there's nothing to show that he is bad. So
there is the fact that he does admit that they did get in a physical altercation, that she did have a broken finger, evidently. That was another thing I don't remember it saying before.
I don't remember that either. That's new.
I remember the lacerations and the marks, which, like you said, could go both ways. But a broken finger?
Maybe she hit him, and that's how she
that
broke
could
her
be.
finger.
Here's another weird thing. Why didn't he?
But they should be able to figure that part out, is how the break is too. But yeah,
before, I can't remember when we were reading the article. If he was still with her after, like, that's really weird. Like, that's the part that I don't.
We don't know that for sure. See, they were presenting this idea that they were. That's my memory of the situation.
They were all good.
That they were all good, but then she took off, right? Like, there was at no point do I ever remember her making any personal public statement. They used some text messages that were out of context, remember?
Yes.
That were supposedly from this individual. But then the things that they had claimed weren't actually being supported in those messages either way, context or not. So, this is the thing I'm saying. The DA may be crooked as shit. And I agree with you, Nick. I always, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But no, I hear you where you're coming from. My problem with this is I just see the shit stacking up against him, and I'm having a hard time believing Majors is innocent in this. That's just my opinion, though.
A personal example, I was hanging out with my friend last summer, right? And she's going out the door of my rig, and bashes her arm really hard on the deadbolt of the door.
It's
And
possible,
this
definitely possible.
bruise
She
was
did it.
so, and you know, she was in a high mood at the moment, right? And then she later turns to me, she's like, "I got to cover this up, or people are going to think that you were beating me." She was cool about that. She wasn't going to lie about it in court or something. Like, nothing actually happened. But sometimes, like, active situations, like okay, she has a broken finger. It doesn't mean that he broke her finger. She could have punched him. She might not. She could have bashed it in the door, literally, if she slammed the door or slammed a cupboard or anything.
Well, I do
right?
remember. Okay, now that I remember now, I don't remember if they said it was broke or not, but it had something to do with when she had actually claimed, and it was in the report, that he had broke her finger when he grabbed his phone from her hands. Remember? That was in the. That was when I remember now. It just came to my. I just remembered that. So I don't know.
Well, that's an involuntary assault. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of, and he's only looking at a year, and that's the thing. It's not like he's looking at any hard time. It's not like this is going to probably destroy his career overall. But what I think it will, and this is, I guess, the main question I've been trying to get to from the start, was how you guys feel like this is going to affect his being in the Marvel universe going forward. Because at this point, whether he ends up being guilty or innocent at the end of the day, the fact that Script Doctor pointed out that this trial is going to last for a while, and I think Andrew and a few others have said that this could go for another year or so.
Well, if it can
before
go
it's
for a year,
resolved.
that's more than enough time for him to shoot in between court dates.
Is that the thing, though? Will they allow that, or will they just say, you know what, we don't want the kind of heat that the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial had around it, especially if they watch Aquaman fucking burn up at the box office.
We'll have to wait for that to be a reality. And also,
you're right.
The other part too is it's Disney. It's current day Disney. Do they really want to be the people in Hollywood that fired a black man who has not yet been had their complete
that's fair too
case exploited? That's the politics of the industry. So I don't think he is going anywhere until a verdict is settled. And if he is exonerated, then Disney wins. And if he is guilty, well, then Disney be like, well, we played innocent until proven guilty, as should we, the rest of the world. And while we are disappointed in the fact that his personal life has done this, we hope that people can look past that event and enjoy the movies that we have invested in him with. And since he will not be returning anytime soon, his chapter is over, and we are moving forward with our other plans for the MCU. And because I don't think his character is going to be lasting beyond Secret War.
Well, and I'm starting to wonder if he'll even end up getting that far at this point. That's where I was just going to say, you may be right, Script, but also we're in the middle of the strike still. Everything's getting pushed out. They're rewriting those movies. So the trial could very well be done by the time they get to the point where they're ready to decide this. Because I'm only going by this because of what I had heard. I do think he's already gone. Now, my question is what they're going to do from here to kind of.
I agree with that, Tom.
I do get Terrence Howard to come in.
I do.
That's what I was saying. That's my original joke, and I'll stick with it. Yeah,
I do think
Black Panther
he's
one,
a goner. I do think even if he turns out somehow to be like innocent down the line, I think he's gone. Once again, Marvel Studios, MCU, they're in way too much crap right now, and they're going to use the court of public opinion to drive him out, not the actual outcome. I think now they're at a quiet stage where it's a little bit quieter, and also Loki show's not as prolific as like a Deadpool 3 per se, so they can put this type thing out with him in it. It's not going to make such a wave. It's when stuff like a Deadpool 3 or an Avengers Secret Wars comes out, that's when they're at to take measures very seriously.
I agree. I think in these situations, it's easier if they find some other reason rather than just outright saying that they're firing him because of the allegations and because of the court case. They move on from him because they're moving in a different direction with the MCU.
That's what I was kind of implying.
Yeah.
Because they might find a way just to work away from him, period. Yeah.
I mean, the Kang Dynasty is the only movie of the next set that's coming out that actually pertains to the character he portrays.
And that could change.
Well, it could change.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. Again, they could recast, but I don't think they're going to. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I just don't
Yeah.
think they're going to at this point.
No, I hear you. And my only other issue with this whole thing is I have nothing against the guy personally. I don't give a shit about him one way or another. I'm always, for innocent until proven guilty. But at this point, there's just way too much stuff stacking up on the guy. And just like maybe, maybe the DA is corrupt, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Jonathan Majors didn't do it. Right?
Yeah, but
Both
doesn't
could
mean
mean
that's
that he
also a
did
factor,
it. It
right?
doesn't mean that he did it either, and that's the
It
thing.
doesn't. That's the point. And I was going to get to that too. It does also mean that he may not have either. But we got to see how this rolls at this point. Even if he does get, go to court, get prosecuted, it doesn't even sound like he's going to be, because if he's only facing a year in jail, I guarantee you what's going to happen is he's going to get a purge sentence. He'll probably only get
Suspended.
3 months
or suspended sentence or whatever. Yeah, like 3 months, and then he'll
Or-
just have to do like probation for a little bit.
Or
Or
they
whatever.
might just do a time served based on the hours he
Yeah.
spent locked up.
Yeah, I don't
It's a good-
actually foresee him doing any real time or anything like that.
I don't either. I really don't. Even if he somehow comes out guilty, guilty. This is Hollywood, and obviously they play by completely different rules. And that's honestly the thing that pisses me off about this case. Is that this case, with the corruption in Alvin Bragg, with the evidence or lack thereof, this case is never going to be truly judged to the closest sense of objectivity. It's all about favoritism, politicalness, it's corruption. There's no calling it as close to the down line as possible. It's just no one cares about the truth. They just want to be based on what they want to be true. And that's what pisses me off
part
about
of
all this.
that's part of what makes me jaded about the whole process too right now. Is that,
Rightfully so.
whether or not a person's innocent or guilty in actuality, they can equally have an unfair trial.
Oh yeah, everyone deserves a fair trial.
That's
even
fair
if you're
too. But
guilty.
again, at the same time, this is all resting on his defense because they have put out this claim that they have all this shit, and now the DA is saying they don't. So that to me is odd. And then also now that they also presented this idea that this Chicky Poo and him are all happy doo doo, and she's actually gonna be working for the DA in this case. So like,
You said doo doo.
and the thing is with this, and this actually goes good with this super chat here. So let me grab this one. Pinochet says, "Stop rationalizing and defending actors who hate you." Look, I'm not doing any of that one way or the other, but I will say this. This is one thing I will say about a lot of times when we get these accusations. This chick this is a criminal case. This isn't her going for a civil thing right now, right? So this is a civil thing. I'd be much more skeptical. Ugh,
Yeah, skeptical. That's the word.
skeptical
the question
about it.
I have this
Yes.
is: has Jonathan Majors made any public statements saying that he hates people that watch his movies or criticizes
No.
movies? Because I don't know any, so he doesn't hate us.
No,
I
but at
don't
that
think we're
point,
on his
like,
radar.
yeah. And then Molester says, "What do you do? Fire a black man or believe all women?" Quite
Or
a
not
pickle for
believe
Disney.
all women.
Or yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with this thing with the woman is like, she did it as it's a criminal thing. It's not like a civil thing yet per se. Let's say.
Correct.
We have
And I'll
Mikey
put it to
here.
you this way. Let's say hypothetically someone at Disney does fire Jonathan Majors. Well, guess what? That person that fired him will also be fired
Probably. I don't
because
know.
that's the only way they can get away with doing
Unless
it.
it's Feige.
Yeah, but Feige's not going to be the one that does it.
No, I get what you're saying. Hey, Mikey, how you doing? I didn't expect to see you, brother.
What's up?
Put your camera down. We can't see your face.
Well, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know how to. Wait, what did I do wrong?
You
Like
are
this?
so a YouTuber.
No.
No.
That works.
Hold on.
God
Like
damn
that?
it, Mike. Don't make me do this.
Do what? I can't even see this. Now I can't see the screen. Now what?
You're gonna make me bring up Exhibit A.
Oh my God! Put that thing down.
Don't make me even get into Exhibit B.
Is that camera? There is no Exhibit B.
Oh, there is. I've just never told anybody else about it yet. You know what it is.
Ooh.
He does, but he's trying to remember now. He's like,
The
"Shit."
world's greatest YouTuber doesn't even know what Exhibit B is.
We'll get into that later. I'm not gonna ruin his night because I'm just glad that he's here. So, Mikey, do you have anything to say about this Jonathan Majors stuff before we move on with some more super chats?
Am I the only one on this panel that's ever been accused of domestic violence?
No.
Oh, darn it! I thought I was bringing unique expertise to the table. I don't know what to say. You know what? This is what strikes me out about this, and since day one. In my case, when I had people coming after me, lying bitch ass whores and her allies, I had such an overwhelming amount of community support and goodwill of people that had known me for years that whether they knew me casually in business or they'd done business with me or they knew me personally, had never done business with me. And I just had a lot of support from a lot of different places. That as to my, I don't know, my character.
Your friends and people that all knew you, exactly.
Yeah, his character and all this stuff. Bro, I have not heard one person stand up for this freaking guy. Not one.
To be fair, I mean, I that's a good point, Mike. We do got to consider that he was not like a big household name either. He was just a guy.
No. But I get what
kind
Mike's
of on
saying.
the
Like
uprise.
when
not
these
what I'm saying.
accusations came out,
I know
like
you're
okay,
not.
let's
That's
put
what
it
I'm
up against
saying.
like Johnny Depp. Okay, when Johnny
Johnny
Depp got
Depp is
accused,
the established name of 3 decades.
right? But my point is he had all of his ex-girlfriends come out in his defense. Anybody who's known him for his entire career in life or longer, whatever you want to call it. Like he had tons and tons and tons and tons of people come out in his defense. Hell, even look at the people who had to backtrack on Danny, right? Like, and there was only a few who come out for him because obviously most people knew that there was something shady there, evidently. And the only
Danny?
two that were dumb enough, Danny Masterson.
Oh, thank
Sorry.
you.
Yeah. I figured it was just everybody would know what I meant. My bad.
Well, there's a lot of domestic assault cases that
I
have
know, that's true.
circulated the last 5 years.
That's true.
Unfortunately, we have to treat them like serial killers and do their full name.
That is very true. So yeah, like with the Danny Masterson case, you even had like, Mila, what's her name, and Kunich or whatever, and
Mila Kunis,
Oh,
another
Kutcher and
guy
Kunis,
who
yeah.
also
Kutcher
is
and
far more
Kunis and-
established than Majors was. I think
I
that's
get what
the-
you're saying, but like the thing was is though you had a ton of people come out in saying, "Oh yeah, we knew this about him," or we were waiting for something like this to happen. We knew this about his character. Some other people would have their own experiences with him. Like Mikey said, not one person come out in his defense. Even his defense lawyers suck.
Well, yeah, that part I
guess
agree on.
my-
That part I agree on. His defense lawyers do suck. I agree in there. All I'm trying to get is that we have to keep the idea that he was not as anywhere near as well known. Obviously, he was trying to be pushed up to be amongst the big leagues. They were trying to prop him up to become one of the the main stars. But you're never, no matter who you are, of a rising star, you're not going to have anywhere near the let's just say support of someone who's an established star, whether it's a Danny Masterson or especially a Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's been involved in the business for several decades, has several franchises that he has to call his own with his name attached to it. The guy has legacy upon legacy. I feel like it kind of, for me, is a little bit of apples and oranges is what I'm getting.
I would just add to this that we probably all know somebody in our life at some point or have been in that situation. There are relationships that thrive on drama.
Oh yeah.
People who just love to fight. That doesn't mean physical assault, right? You can be a dick and thrive on fighting with a partner. And some people just like that. If you're not fighting in the relationship somehow breaks apart. It's not my kind of thing, but we could probably all have.
There are women who are really into like makeup sex and shit too, and all that business. So yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I understand where you guys are coming from on that. I totally understand. I've even had my own accusations, plenty of them in my days. But for me, luckily, I had a lot of the evidence to back my ass up. Where it doesn't sound like, I don't know. I hope for his case, Jonathan Majors has the evidence to back it up. Maybe Script's right. Maybe they do have this video. Maybe the DA is full of shit. Maybe they don't know.
Yeah, discovery only goes one way, from the prosecutors to the defense, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have something, we won't see it until it's presented at trial.
But my guess, and this is just me speculating here, my guess is they went through all those cameras in that area that night and didn't see anything that supported what he claimed, or they didn't even see anything that they said that had happened or transpired.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't any cameras in the area.
I don't think they just went through the cameras. I bet you they went through Instagram accounts, Facebook, anything that was posted publicly to try and.
Well, and they also presented that there was supposedly the cab driver that witnessed it, but you have their account, and both accounts differ. So again, it could very well be. If I'm wrong when this trial starts and it looks like this is nothing but a fucking hangman's trial, then
Mhm.
I'll be all with that and be like, look, this guy's being fucking lynched basically. And I don't even mean that to say that to be any kind of way racist. It's like, fucking seriously, like, I'll fucking say it. But at this
If
point, there's
he's
nothing
guilty,
supporting that.
if he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's not guilty, he's not guilty. This is not, and these are not opinions based on how we feel in favor against him. This is just us trying to see as close to the middle as possible. With none of us here on the panel, assumingly, have any investment in
No, that's
favor
just
or
it.
against
Yeah.
him.
It's why you need real hard evidence, right? Because if he's
Yes,
an awesome, everyone seems to love Johnny Depp, right? So everybody's gonna come out and support him. He's a great guy, but that's not hard evidence. That's just, oh, Johnny Depp's a great guy.
No, it's a
Everyone likes him,
character witness,
right?
though,
Yeah,
too. But
it would be the same thing here. Maybe Jonathan Majors is a dick and nobody likes him, but that's not evidence that he beats women, right? That's
true. That's very true.
it
That's
just
very,
makes
very
it really
true.
hard to decipher what the truth is unless you have that evidence.
Well, let's see what the rest of the guys are saying out there in the chat. Oh,
Hold
we got
on,
Fatal
one
J
more
in the chat.
One more quick comment. I just want to say that Kevin Feige apparently knows how to pick cast members. He has now attained what we shall call Zack Snyder proficiency.
syndrome.
Ooh,
Oh
getting
no, you're
close.
right. You're right. He's on his
Same
way.
amount, or
You're right,
close to
Mike.
Does he have the same amount?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Well, let's see.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it, because Ezra's never really been convicted of anything yet, has he?
No, he's still out. He's still out there. Everything is kind of up in the air at this point.
Or it's been dropped? Yeah. So, with that in
I'm
mind,
just trying to think what's on the Marvel side aside from Jonathan Majors.
yeah, I'm trying to think too.
I'm not saying he's there. I'm just saying
Was Alec Baldwin in anything?
getting
Nope.
there.
Well,
I
he's down
can't-
one. He's got 2 more to go.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. I mean, I
just
guess
decided I'm going to be proactive since every time I show up on a stream, you guys bring up Zack Snyder. I just decided I was going to go first.
I guess Bree and they did have the legal issues with Black Widow. What's her name?
Scarlett
Scarlett.
Johansson, but that's not.
But
criminal
that's not
associated.
her fault. Yeah, there's no criminal situation there. So yeah, I still think Zach's got it all up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up, Fatal J's in the chat.
Hi, Fatal J.
I also saw Andy Masterson in the chat earlier too, and hopefully you guys saw my Bat Tom video.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
was promoting it in the chat before the show. That was a dude. That toy is so cool.
Well, he had to make me one. You want to know why? Why don't you tell him why, Mike?
Oh, my mic isn't working. It's muted.
You liar.
On mute.
Andy sent Mikey a box that had something for him in it and something he was
yeah.
supposed to pass along to moi. Only he decided to keep it.
I had to.
So there's two actual Bat Tom figures in existence, and it's only right and fitting that Mikey owns the other one.
Tom.
So.
So I was okay. All right, look.
Did you not
Yeah.
hear what I just said?
No, what'd you say?
I said it's only right and fitting that Mikey owns the other one.
Oh, Tom, I couldn't do it. I've had it from. I tried. I tried. Even before I went to California, I'm like, okay, I gotta ship this. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And so I called Andy. I'm like, Andy, it's not happening. I can't do it.
I would have loved to have heard that.
I could. Do you know how cute downstairs in the case it looks? Bat Tom next to Mexican Iron Man.
Well, yeah, we're building our own Avenger team.
They're like right there, and they're in my case right downstairs. You walk in through the door, you look to the left, I have this huge display case, and they're right there together.
You want to know the easiest figure you're ever going to make, Andy? Script Doctor.
Yeah, he won't even need a face.
You don't have to do jack shit. Just buy a blue Star Trek thing or whatever the doctor's shirt, some glasses, a wig. You're good to go. You can just get a blank face of one of the what do you call them? What are they called? The mannequin faces or whatever kind of thing.
The neutral
Neutral,
face,
something like that. Yeah, I'm trying to
painted
think of the
white,
word.
and
Yeah,
throw
you
on
might
a-
be
throw on a Star Trek a surgeon smock and
Yeah.
some black pants and boots, and you're good to go.
good to go.
Yeah.
And you got a Script Doctor figure. Boom, baby. You know what though, Andy, if you're still listening, this is something you should. I'm sure you've been requested this several times. But this, I've had like at least no less than 5 people now tell me they want a Bat Top figure. So I don't know what it would cost you to make a mass production of them, but we may have to talk.
They're not cheap.
I imagine no, and that's what I said in that video too. I was like, I'm sure these are not cheap.
It's not like they're $100 or $200. It's like
we're talking in the hundreds, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But if you can find a way to mass produce me, maybe it'll bring the cost down a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, but I'd have to discuss that with him if that's even something he'd want to do. Because I know he's done a little thing with these. Here, this is the other thing he sent me. I showed in the video too. Of course, you all saw. But here's Bat Tom again. For those who may not have seen him, just to see him. I am the Bat Tom figure. And he also sent me, what is the official name for this, Andy, if you're still listening? The dead elf on a shelf or scary elf on a shelf? He's scary. He's in time for, he's hanging around for Halloween. But I'm putting him up here. There he goes. All right. Well, thank you for that, Andy, for that. That was an amazing gift. I appreciate it. We got CC Karaoke sending in the first chat of the show today saying elf. I think that's the super sticker thingy or the member sticker. And then Hound Monkey has become a member. Thank you so much, Hound Monkey, for becoming a member. We appreciate that here at the channel. It's always a big deal when we get a new member. What level was it? Let me see. See it. Oh shit, I don't have it up here. Well, you know what? We'll give you an Oscar-winning puppy. We like Oscar-winning puppies here. And then we've got, let's see here. Doesn't matter if he was convicted. Not really, Mars Needs Max. That's kind of what we were getting at. We had kind of already covered this, but I clipped this because I wanted to address it. At the end of the day, I don't think it'll affect his overall career, just his Marvel career, probably. I mean, eventually Armie Hammer will come back too, just wait. You can eat a toe or two in Hollywood and get away with it.
Yep, they play by different rules than us.
Well, he's also an heir of the Arm & Hammer Baking Soda Foundation.
So it's not just a clever name.
It's not clever in the least.
I know, I was being ironic. Last Millennial says, anyone, do you not know where that line's from, Script? It's from Wayne's World. Remember, he's like, who's on tonight? Crucial Taunt, and they're just finishing up, and then we got the Shitty Beatles. Are they any good? They suck. Well, then it's not just a clever name. Yeah. Last Millennial says, anyone knowledge on the legal incarceration climate of the UK? Is it the US where it has a bunch of people in prison that shouldn't be there? For example, drugs, history of lawyers, judges without withholding evidence. I don't know much about the UK.
I Googled it when I saw the super chat. And so, for whatever it's worth, Google says that the UK has private prisons.
Yes, they do. And their cops also carry pistols. The joke that they're never armed is a myth. It's not real.
Interesting. Well, I couldn't tell you then. Pinochet has been a member for 26 months, though. Thank you so much. And then he has a few of them here. He says, can't buy your way when you're anti-flavor of the month. That's true to a point, but money always talks. Pinochet says, why not recast and move on? Actors on strike anyway. I think this is the most likely scenario.
He just answered his own question. Yeah. Who's he going to recast? The actors are on strike.
That too. And then Gina Carano was fired predicting the future. She was like, never brought back, but yeah. Blacklisted, I guess is a better way of putting it too. Pinochet's helicopter tour says, stop rationalizing. Oh, we got this one already. And then wants to know, is Dune 2 on hold or just delayed? They just delayed the release, from my understanding.
Yeah, March.
It's all done. It's just
March. Yeah, that's all it was.
March. Here's the other thing too. What's the Marvel's excuse going to be that killed them at the box office without Dune up against them?
They were going to use superhero fatigue, but now that you see that Spider-Man game killing on PS5 market, so they're probably just going to go full circle and bring it back to it's the men's fault for not seeing it.
When then you find out that it's majority of male audience going to see
who sees the movies, yes, which is the part that they that's the thing. Script guys like us, we look beyond the surface for information. They know that a lot of people don't, so they know if they just simply say that, a lot of people will take them at their word and run with it. Even if it's objectively false, they'll still run with it. So yes, we know that's true. Yes, most of guys, most people who see these movies are men because, well, action-based stories and movies in general are mostly watched by men. It doesn't mean all women. It just means that most men are invested in the stuff than women. There's movies that are made for women too. So just to clarify in the chat, because there is always someone who wonders, hey, look, I'm a girl. We're not talking about you. There are exceptions to these things. It's not absolute.
Yeah, fuck you, lady.
It's 70-30, right? There's
I was kidding, of course.
I figured, but
Yeah.
we do gotta acknowledge that fact though, and that's the thing. They think
Well,
that
there's women who just
they-
like
they
these
just-
things just the way they are too. We
and
can never forget that.
And that's the thing. There are women who do, and those women that do, as fewer and far between as they actually are, as you said, Tom, they like it for what it is. So not do you piss off the men who you change this product, but you also piss off the women too, because guess what? There are women out there, those few who actually like this. They like Thor being Thor. They like Captain America being Captain America. I knew I had a coworker who was really invested in the MCU, and she jumped off recently because she's just like, what happened to all my guys? And she was not knowledgeable on the comics, but she was invested as a movie fan. And she doesn't like that all the characters she grew up with for 10 plus years are gone. She doesn't like it. And she didn't like Captain Marvel either. So they are out there.
it's fair. Like,
Yeah, and
I've heard this is like, why not have a hot woman in a bikini? Because the women like to see that rather than somebody they don't want to be, and they'd rather see a guy, scantily clad. Particularly is like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Conan. They'd rather see that.
Scantily clad.
Especially those who are into it in the first place. That's what they want to see.
Scantily clad. That's just such a fun. All I hear is Arnold saying that, repeating it. Scantily clad.
It's true. It sells. It'll always sell. Nothing's going to change about. We're not evolving past 1 million years of what we've always been. It'll be the same case 100 years from now. We just take the shirt off and make more money.
That's right. I remember so many dudes were like, man, I saw Black Widow and Iron Man 2 and I had a chubby. I remember so many dudes saying that. So you can't deny that wasn't going on in the world. How many dudes were raving about her in Iron Man 2 when they saw it? A lot.
Her costume did a lot of work in that movie.
That was a good one, script.
Well, I mean, listen, she has gone nude in a number of films since, and I will say, yes, her costume did a lot of work in that movie.
Morgan King has been here for 26 months. Thank you so much. Marks47 has been here for 29. And Daryl Brewer's been here for 27. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thundercock claims that Strange New World has been canceled, and Amazon said no to Legacy. I have not heard either one of those things, Thundercock. So, and I just looked. I didn't see anywhere anything saying Strange New World has been canceled.
No, I mean, it's definitely being delayed any production because they can't shoot. That's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some other things. Not that though, but
well, listen, Amazon hasn't said anything to Legacy.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Legacy's being shopped around though. We reported that. Yeah.
Legacy's being shopped, and as we mentioned on the Midnight's Edge morning show, is how is Alex Kurtzman going to answer where's the team that made season 3 of Picard so good to warrant this legacy? And he's going to be like, well, I have them. And it's like, really? You have Terry Metalis? No. Oh, you got Todd Stashwick? No. Oh, like he's got a lot of no's on his own end for any question.
Sounds to me like you got Jack and shit and Jack left town.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
yeah.
Tonight on Toxic Tuesday.
Army of Darkness.
This is my boomstick. The last millennial says, Tom and everyone, what's the scariest movie you've seen? Captain Marvel.
Kazam.
Kazam? Oh my God.
Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes. Yes.
The Birds.
Nicolas Cage as
That
Ghost
one scared the
Rider.
shit out of me.
I can see that. What did you say, Nick?
Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
Not the second
I'm
one, though.
flaming.
My head is getting really hot.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Fucking Nick Cage should start his own acting school. You need to emote. Just take a word at the end of the sentence and make it louder than the rest. And sometimes it helps to throw in wild arms and noises.
And make sure that you take their face off.
Like that.
You want to take his face off? Yeah.
Anyway. Scariest movie for real though. Oh shit. God. I mean, normally scary movies don't scare me, right? Like I'm not
of the
some
same nature. I
It's-
enjoy them, but I'm not scared of them.
the times I ever really remember being like affected by a film outside of when I was young, and I don't think that should count because you're scared of every goddamn thing when you're young. Oddly enough, the scene in The Lost World when they're getting pushed over the ledge by the T-Rexes, even though I pretty much figured everybody's going to survive that scene, when Juliet, what's her name?
I don't know. I can't remember
redhead.
that movie.
She's in Big Lebowski and shit too.
Julianne Moore?
Julianne Moore. I knew it's not Juliet or something else. Julianne Moore. Thank you. When she hits that glass and it starts to crack, for some reason that just made me on edge. Like things like that in a movie, right? Like normally, like not so much like a scary movie or heads being lopped off, jump scares, all that kind of stuff. Just oddball shit like that sometimes will scare me. I don't know. Not scare me so much, but unsettle me, I guess is a better term. I don't know. That's about the best I can come up with. Anything you guys got?
No.
All right.
Sorry. I mean, listen, I watch horror movies. I enjoy them, but I don't get scared by them.
I mean,
That's
me,
a
I'm
girl-
talking about the emotional impact,
That's
like
a
The
girl
Exorcist.
thing.
Otherwise, I guess would be the closest thing to that.
Alien, The Birds. But if you're talking about just pure unsettled, Eyes Wide Shut. I'd still say that's one of the best movies ever made. and
True.
it completely unsettled me because it was just
I was a
very
late
real.
bloomer to Birds. I just saw that
Oh,
for
yeah,
my
I saw
first
that
time a
one.
year ago, and I loved it. I wasn't
dude.
scared by it, but I did love it. I thought it was a fantastically made
you
movie.
I got
you
to see
seen-
it in school.
Have you seen Frenzy yet, Nick?
I have not. You
Go
got
see
my
Frenzy.
attention.
There's a
Okay.
scene in there where you hear a person's fingers break. It's pretty
Nice.
chilling.
Whoa, that's heavy.
Yeah, no, like I'm pretty much like the rest of these guys for the most part, though. Mm. All right, let's see here. We got a couple more
I
super
see-
chats, and I got one more story I wanted to get to. Oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say something, CC?
I was just saying, I saw it in the chat. Someone said mentioned The Cube. That's a
Cube?
great movie. The first
Cube's a-
Cube movie.
Yeah, that is a good movie, but I always looked at more as like a mystery thriller
Mhm.
than something scary.
Yeah.
That's
But
fair.
dude, that's a really well done movie.
Yeah. What movie scares you the most, Mikey? You are crackling.
Well, Bambi,
really bad.
Bambi would be the number one by far. That terrified me as a young 3-year-old. When I saw it it was re-released in the theaters, and my mom took me, and that was just the worst decision ever. Then I'm gonna have to go with The Birds.
Mm.
Also, when I was a young lad, I was up late at night, and I came on TV on the UHF channel, and there I was by myself, late at night, dark, and The Birds actually scared the snot out of me. After that, I don't know, because I'm not a fan. I'm like Script. I'm not a fan. Well, I'm not I do get scared, but I just don't enjoy I just don't enjoy horror movies very much. I just don't enjoy them at all. So I'm not like Snowdub, kind of guy.
I'm not a agoraphobe, and in the sense of like, or agoraphile. That would be the term. And I know some people that love horror movies so much that you question their sanity.
Yeah.
I'm fully in the camp that the scariest movies are the ones that don't show you everything. It was one of the
Yeah.
things about the birds is that the birds were the presence, but it wasn't like you didn't. It was the fear of what they were going to do, the fact that they could do it.
I mean,
With
how scary are
Jaws,
birds
you
flying
know?
chihuahuas? But that movie scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and he was
Like,
a
oh my God,
master
they're
of that. He
flying
just
chihuahuas. Ah!
just a shot of the birds out there on the power line, on the roof. Just the mass of them. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just a still shot, right? But you know that there's enough of them to kill you. They have that desire to do so. I don't know. When first time I saw it, it just freaked the crap out of me. I had to look at birds differently for a while.
Professor Haitian says, question for the panel. Are we allowed to criticize indie projects and products? I've been getting trashed for doing that recently. I don't see why not.
Yeah, if you've got critiques on an indie project, film, whatever, go for it, man. I mean, listen, that helps those indie guys grow, especially if they've got great points you can articulate for their works. Absolutely.
I've spent a ton of time recently looking at indie music, music from artists that have completely fallen under the radar, got 100 views or whatever. And a lot of them are crap. So say it, but some of them are amazing. And I don't think that's specific to how successful someone is, as far as whether they got 1 million views or 100. There's good and there's bad and everything. So
Yeah.
Plus, if you're honest, if you say something's good when it's good, when you say something's bad when it's bad, then you'll gain that credibility, right? You're not just a shill.
You can't criticize the new independent project that me and Tom are launching, which is the 2024 Men of Meat swimsuit calendar with thong action by
Wait, what?
And
Mike, you're cutting out.
Your mic is really bad right now, Mike.
Probably a loose cord.
Yeah, it was a loose cord because whatever you just did, it banged. It made noise.
Mike
Say something.
banged.
I'm not a YouTuber.
It's better. You fixed it.
Yeah, it sounds good now.
I hit it by slamming the table.
Yep.
Mhm.
It straight up worked.
See, this is proof positive I'm not a YouTuber.
No, it's proof that you are.
What?
I mean, I guess that's the way YouTubers fix their problems.
The independent project is going to be the Men of Mead 2024 swimsuit thong calendar.
I repeat. Wait, what?
And it's going to feature a script doctor.
My body will eat a thong, man.
Script doctor and 32 and CC in their man thongs of excitement.
We need to talk about this.
Launching the webpage now.
No, honestly, about this, Professor, this is a good question because especially when you're talking about certain indie movements, weren't they kind of built on the idea that, we were being criticized for not liking certain things, right? So for indies to go like, well, you can't criticize me is pretty hypocritical. Yeah.
I think we got to remember too, and then Professor Hateen, I know who he is, nice guy. You got to remember too, you could still get trashed for praising things too. So it's you're doing this type of job because he is someone who has videos on YouTube. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. There can be people who will say you praise things too much. There'll be people who say you insult things too much. You could be in moderation, and someone will still say you do one or the other too much. And sometimes when they say one or the other too much, it's because they selectively look at only the things that you trash, or selectively look at the things that you praise. So, and I've seen it happen all the time. Like I've seen people.
The number one thing we all
hear
hear all the time, right, is why do you guys hate everything?
Oh yeah. Oh, I've heard. Yeah, right. Oh man, Pepperidge Farms remembers that one.
If you win 100% of the vote, it's probably not a good thing.
Because I'm allergic to mediocrity and my time is valuable. And when you give me shit, I have better things to do than watch shit.
I mean, otherwise, I guess if you want a way to get to interact with these people or deal with them, I guess just remind them that they have the right to their opinion just as much as you do your own. And if they don't like it, that's fine. Not everybody's going to like the same kind of pizza. I've pointed that out several times over. But at the end of the day, we can mostly agree that most people like pizza.
I tried pineapple this summer. It was the one that was on sale. It was half the price of the others. And I was like, okay, I really don't. I'm cheap. I don't want to spend all this
There's a
money.
reason it was half off.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it. I had to throw
I
it
told
away.
you. Look, it's just a person.
I don't want to
trait.
hear anything negative about pineapple on pizzas on the show.
See, and this is my point exactly. If Mikey
Very
wants to eat that garbage, and Script wants to eat that garbage,
You kidding? It's healthier compared to
it's
the
a scientific fact that pineapple goes bad the moment you put it on pizza, and so does the pizza.
No,
it doesn't.
no,
Scientific fact.
no, it's not.
I don't even. I don't
care
even
about
hate pineapple.
You know, the last time someone told me to follow the science, I was told I needed boosters.
You said shit about science.
You said scientific fact. That's science.
Scientific fact. So that means you want
Science don't mean science no more. I mean,
you
like,
want me to follow
science,
the science when it comes to pineapple pizza. You want me to follow the science.
Oh no.
This one had bacon on it.
What did
and I
Fauci
like
say about
pineapple. I figured it was a safe bet.
I'm not,
but I just couldn't finish it. I don't know what it was.
Science. I'm following. And by the way, at CC Karaoke, you are a traitor to your country of Canada for not liking pineapple on pizza.
How is that even a thing?
I don't know. I just made
invented it.
Are you sure you did? I thought it was Hawaiian pizza. That was always what it was called back in the day.
Hashtag I stand
Dude,
with Script.
Canada called it the Hawaiian pizza. That's how it got its name.
You guys are so dumb.
I stand with Script, Doctor, and Unity.
Putting pineapple on pizza. We already got fucking tomatoes pretending to be a fucking vegetable on there. We don't need actual vegetables on there. You want a fruit pizza, make a fruit
tomatoes
pizza.
Are a fruit. Whoever said
that's what I just said.
You called tomato a vegetable.
No,
did you not listen to what I just fucking said? Pretending to be a vegetable. Because they don't prepare tomato sauce like you would a fruit jam.
If I ever did do something with my YouTube channel, you know what I might do? I might do a pineapple pizza stream. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh Lord, make us all sick.
You know what? This weekend I might just do it.
I'll eat pineapple on pizza if it's a fruit pizza. That's it.
At that point, but see, at that point, it's not. I mean, depending on what sauces are used, it may not even be a pizza anymore.
All right, so you're telling me
you know what a fruit pizza is? It's like
you would eat a fruit pizza, so
I
can cut up pears, apples, and oranges.
What sauce is on it?
You never had a fruit pizza before? It's like a cream cheese. It's just cream cheese.
Not a pizza anymore.
Yeah, it's more or less just the idea.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
I know it's good stuff, but it's not good. It's no better for you than actual pizza, but it's just got fruit on it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock on it. I'm just leveling out there that once again, in order to be a pizza,
they're damn good.
Minimum qualifying ingredients. You gotta have the pizza sauce, the bread, and the cheese. When you take out any of those ingredients, it doesn't. I'm not saying good or bad. It's just it ain't a pizza.
The sauce is basically and the cheese are the same. It's cream cheese
anchovies
sauce,
on pizza. I hate anchovies on pizza, but if
you can put chocolate on it though. Does that count?
Here's your problem there, Nick, and it's not a bad one, but the traditional Italian pizza is dough, olive oil, and cheese.
You are right. You are right.
That sounds amazing.
Absolutely 100%.
I'm going to go make that right now.
I've been there because I've eaten Italian pizza, and I've also eaten in Rome pizza with pineapple on it, and nobody in Italy cared.
Well,
yes, that is true. I've actually talked to some Italian people from the Italies of the world, and they're not as passionate. That's fine if they want to be
I've ate in an authentic Italian restaurant called Olive Garden.
I'll be passionate. that was good, Tom.
So there. Doug 85.
We should all go to Rome for pizza, any type of pizza. It's so delicious. The oil they use. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, considering, I know what we have here is it's kind of like the whole Taco Bell thing. What we have here is quote unquote pizza isn't remotely what it was originally, and same thing with most Mexican food.
I hear there's a few hidden treasures in Milwaukee, according to Dave Portnoy.
Oh, really?
We got to try them. He has found some sweet spots in that city.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe you'll have to entice me to come down early.
Yeah.
Doug 1985 says Two Evil Eyes 1990 scared the F out of me. I have that movie. I haven't watched it yet, though. I do have it. It's like two separate stories from two different directors. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think Argento was one of them. I can't remember the other one. Maricon Iron Man. That's weird. Okay.
No. Okay, it's Maricon Iron
Oh,
Man.
Maricon.
No, Maricon means. How do I just translate this? Like
Metrosexual.
Just
well,
say gay.
Okay, gay Iron Man. Yeah, but it's like gay.
Gay is okay. It's okay
It's like
to say
saying
gay.
gay Mexican Iron Man. Is that what Maricon Iron Man?
So we have the gay Mexican Iron Man in the chat.
Yeah. So like, oh my God, this would be like my Star Trek mirror universe Mexican Iron Man.
Bang your desk again. Never mind. It's gone. It was gone.
How's that?
I think you made it worse. It is definitely your mic cord.
All right, so I need a new cable.
Or it's either that or the mic itself has got a bad connection. Yeah, but you're fine now. But anyway, you were saying.
I was saying that
he's your mirror universe version. Is that what you're trying to say?
would be from a sexual preference standpoint. My mirror. Anyway, let's read the super chat for $7 Canadian. Oh, notice y'all aren't showing up in my recommended anymore. What did you do to piss off the overlords? Oh, that's a good question.
About a month or two ago, YouTube made significant changes to the algorithm. And I don't know exactly what they did, but I know a lot of channels have expressed that they've seen differences. My channel went down 30% for a couple of weeks, actually for most of a month. It came back because I'm evergreen. And of course, I can't compare evergreen, to everything else.
Commentary. Yeah, but to your point, CC, it's happening to evergreen and even like basic commentary.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people who usually get like on average 1 million views a video, who their quality is not going down, but they're just happen to get anywhere between 500,000 to 600,000, which obviously those are views most of us would kill for. But for those type of YouTubers, that's considered a major drop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
well, there's been a very significant change.
We should probably read the super chat first before we keep going any further. Notice y'all aren't showing up in my recommended anymore. What did you do to piss off the overlord? So
Mike just did that.
He did. I didn't know he read it. My bad.
Yeah, I read it.
I am so sorry.
I even read what the currency and the dollar amount, which you never.
I just thought you guys went into discussing it. That was my fault.
It was around Labor Day.
No.
Around the beginning of September.
Not to like break up the moment, but Shaft died. Richard Roundtree has passed away at 81.
What?
Yeah, that's why I got distracted. I'm sorry.
The definition of cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's
look at him.
Man.
He was cool. Look at him.
That sucks because I was hoping for another one too with him in it. Because that last one was actually pretty dope. That sucks. That's a bummer.
R.I.P. for real.
Yeah.
But they don't like us. So that's probably why we're not showing up in your recommendations. Half the time the shows get freaking demonetized or whatever anyway. So it's hard to say. We probably say something that pisses off the YouTube monster.
I don't understand.
I don't even try to understand. I know I say this a few times on People's Streams. It's something
I'm on a lot of people's shit lists. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. We should also, chat. I know this is obviously we like having the notifications. I know we enjoy that stuff, but I would strongly recommend, if you're capable, try to get in the habit of either trying to remember or write it down times for when things start. At least the estimates.
Or if you can follow on social media. Yeah.
Shows like this. Yes, shows like this do start, but at least you got the idea, the estimate. Write it down. Do something like make a schedule, because there was once upon a time we had to do that with traditional television, and we didn't get notifications with that. So, yeah, it's obviously requires a little work, but you know what? At least you want to say I didn't get the notification, and it'll get you on a good routine to say, okay, I know at this time there's this show.
One thing I do, I like the home feed because it'll introduce me to new channels, but the subscriptions tab, chronologically, everything I'm subscribed to generally doesn't fail me, right? It'll tell me when things are happening. It's not about whether or not I get the notifications. If I'm subscribed to that channel, it's going to be at the top of the feed. And I tend to just stay on the subscriptions feed primarily. And that helps.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, or follow on social, like I said. But yeah, so thank you, Marcon Iron Man. Or how do I say that? Marcon? I can't hear you, Mike.
Mari con.
Maricon. Gotcha.
Mari con.
Maricon.
Yeah.
Hi, King Finyor, Alpha Chad of Middle Earth says pineapple to pizza is what Rings of Power was to Token. Oh, yeah, baby. You hit
Ouch.
that. Indeed. Sith
Ouch.
Holocron says, congratulations, Tom, for director of Authority Scoop. I read it on the internet like 2 weeks after you brought it up and made me laugh. Oh, okay.
Who's directing The Authority?
I didn't know I had that. I don't remember it being. When did I say that? Are you sure you didn't miss me for somebody else, or I maybe retweeted something? I don't want to take credit for something I didn't say. But there's a director now for The Authority. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Well, Matthew Vaughn. Oh, okay.
Wait,
Did I say?
Is he the director of The Authority?
I think
That's
so.
confirmed?
Yeah. Or wait, Matthew Vaughn on The Authority and James Gunn. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe not. His thoughts. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, thoughts are not the same as being a director.
Never mind. The way I read the headline, it's
Yeah.
totally misleading.
Matthew Vaughn is doing a fun job getting the attention of a whole nother area of social media to go see his movie.
Yo, you're talking about Argyle, right? Script.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about it. I mean, I would like to think that it might be good because he usually does pretty good when it comes to adapting people's IPs or adaptations. So,
Well, this is a mixed one because the book
yes,
that it's based off of hasn't been released yet.
yes, I heard about that. I'm like, I wonder. And now we have nothing to really base it off of that I know of. And I'm like, okay, I guess maybe this is gonna be like a day like simultaneous release where they're gonna come out at the same time. I'd like to know because yeah, it's kind of odd.
Well, he hasn't said anything of that yet because Matthew Vaughn, the last movie he made was The Kingsman, which bombed at the
Yes.
box office because nobody
Yeah,
saw it.
huge.
Well, who did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And he wasn't able to do a whole lot of promoting for it and so forth. And now what he's done, because he doesn't want Argyle to bomb either, is he now is hitting every single news media outlet he can to have the conversation about the state of film so that he can basically make these inflammatory remarks to get people riled up about him, Google him, see that he's making a movie with Henry Cavill as one of the leads, and hopefully gain that audience's the reactionary audience's interest into seeing that movie to either talk about it or at least help try and give it a bump so that it doesn't actually fail at the box office like The Kingsman did, which is unfortunate because The Kingsman is actually a pretty solid film.
Yeah,
Unless he means
it
because
was solid. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still a good, like, fun movie, and it had
Unless-
some good heartfelt moments. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
who do you mean, Sith? Because otherwise, I know they're showing up in Superman, right? But did they announce that they were getting their own movie?
Who?
The Authority.
Yes, James Gunn did say that the
Okay.
Authority would be part of the air site.
For some reason,
I
I'm
had
having
heard
like a complete
rumors.
brain fart.
I had
here.
heard rumors about Matthew Vaughn, and I could see it being a thing because he's buddies with Mark Miller, and Mark Miller did have a run on the Authority, so that would line up.
Who did I say though, Sith? That's where I'm drawing a complete blank here for some reason. I don't know. Admittedly, it's been a long day, but because I'm like really trying to remember now. Because I must have said it on a stream or something. Because I don't think I said it on X or nothing like that.
I wasn't even aware of the movie, so I mean, I could see it being kind of secondary.
Because now I'm drawing a complete blank for some reason. Giving myself a migraine, trying to remember.
Don't
Don't
think
do
too
that.
hard on it. Don't think about it, and then it'll pop up in your head and just announce it.
Yeah, I've been
randomly.
having this issue lately.
Sleep is good.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. We'll come back to that. But then we got Alexander Tan, who says, I noticed I had been unsubscribed from 23 YouTube sites. Wow.
I believe it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
I
happens.
had when there was the changes going on, I was basically watching my YouTube sub numbers having ping pong. It was bouncing around between 1680 and 1695. I was like, I was just like, wow, this is really weird. I could check my phone almost every 10 minutes, and it's either going up or going down. I'm like, there's clearly something up at YouTube.
I have gotten notifications about it. YouTube has an AI that is intended to strip out subscribers who are bots for whatever reason. It's not perfect. So it'll
It strips
unsubscribe
out
real
people who
people.
are
Yeah.
There are channels where they are fully up and haven't been used for years, and you'll see that they have hundreds of thousands of subs, and they have no content that's been posted over half a decade, if not longer. So yeah, the system is clearly flawed.
And then Sith sends in another $2 and said, "You said he would be a good fit if only." Yeah, we read the other one. I'm curious who I said. That's what I'm trying to remember, man. Who exactly? Just the name of the person is who I'm talking about. Yeah,
Don't super chat again. Just send.
yeah.
us
You don't
in.
have to super chat again. We're watching the chat, so
I've only been unsubbed from a channel once, and that was Comics Division's channel. I remember it happened while I was on a stream with him too. That was
weird.
really weird. I was like, what the? I just got subbed to your channel as I'm on stream with you on your channel.
Oh, I've been unsubbed from several channels, including Midnight's Edge.
Wow. That's funny.
Happened to me twice.
Yeah, I can't believe that though. Especially when you're a member, I've seen people get unsubscribed. It's crazy.
Happened to me twice last year.
Yeah. But yeah, so keep an eye out for who Sith is talking about, because we got one more story here I wanted to hit before we go. I'm not a big fan of this. I was hoping Culture would show up, but Five Nights at Freddy's is looking to debut with $50 million, even though it's going to be opening day and date on streaming. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's
I'm
actually
not
not a number to
surprised.
frown at. Let me look at the numbers for what Dune were whenever
Is that Universal?
I'm
Yeah,
curious.
that's the Blumhouse Universal Peacock production. Yeah, I think
It's a
Blumhouse is
popular
involved.
franchise. I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah, no, the kids love this. They got fucking toys everywhere and shit at Walmart and everything. Yeah, it's obviously. Oh, the Kingsman director. Oh, so Matthew Vaughn. I haven't heard anything yet, but I said he was lobbying for the job. That may be what you're talking about. That could very well be.
The Dune opened up domestically and to 41 million its opening weekend. So
Dune, D-U-N-E. Dune?
yes, Dune 2021 opened to 41 million domestically opening weekend. So not bad for a day and date.
And that was in the
So-
middle of the pandemic still.
Yeah. So wow. Hey, good for these guys. Hopefully people enjoy it.
And I doubt this movie has a very high budget.
It doesn't need to be the best ever. It just needs to be competent at the source material and just
Oh yeah.
needs to be okay.
It's going to basically make its money back this weekend. It only cost $25 million to make.
Oh yeah, that's a crapshoot right there.
Yeah. It's a TV movie basically glorified on screen. Because that's the other thing. This and 4 other movies, including like Exorcist and a couple other ones that just come out, The Nun 2, you can buy like a $20 ticket at AMC and see them in a special thing. So like, yeah, this is just money in their pocket at this point. But no, good for them. I thought this was kind of it's a bump up for horror films, and with Halloween coming out, I know there's fans of this kind of stuff. I saw the trailer for The Exorcist. It actually does look pretty scary. I'm not a fan of the franchise or anything like that, but I mean, it's a lot like that Willy Wonderland concept, but I know this came first, and that was a ripoff of this. But it'll be interesting to see how the audience reacts to it. Anybody got anything to say on this?
I got nothing.
Nope.
I mean, it really just needs to follow the video game format in a very simple way. It needs just to have the characters and be like, it needs to be true to the source material and provide some good jump scares and not be overly long. It's not. It doesn't need a high bar. It doesn't need to be the greatest horror movie of all time, but it needs to be good enough to be kind of campy fun, right? Like that campy kind of like love it kind of B movie fun, and the fans will keep coming out to watch it. It's found money.
And this thing is rated
make a lot of money.
PG-13, so this is going to do just fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was R from the trailer. Holy crap! I guess
told you can get away with a lot without it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not as long as it's not real people, right?
Right there with you on that argument. Well, it all depends on what you show, right? And the amount of violence, the type of violence, who's committing the violence, who's the victim of the violence. A lot of that weighs into it and factors into it. If there's other things like swearing, other adult situations involved in it.
You know my position on horror movies. I don't need to see the blood and guts. I don't need swearing. And in this particular franchise, especially, you just need the scare of something coming up from the shadows.
The funny thing is how many horror movies from the 80s and 90s, if you took out like the F words and the tits, would get a PG-13 now.
It doesn't make the movie scarier to have it.
No, but I'm just saying, you'd be surprised. Like Scream, I guarantee you would only be PG-13 if you took out the F words.
Oh yeah. Heck, I've seen Scream aired on television without the F word.
Wow, that's cable. But like they don't. Yeah, the last time I think I remember seeing it on TV, they cut out the swear words, and I don't think they cut much of the violence out at all.
No, I don't recall any of the violence.
I mean, I've seen so many dead bodies on NYPD Blues and other things like the CSIs and all that shit anymore that I think a lot of the TV audience has been desensitized to the violent stuff a lot more than they used to be.
Well, I mean, talk about fans, they'll fill in the blanks, right? Especially if you've played the video games and you'll fill in the blanks in your head. You don't need to see the actual act.
Well, what this reminds me of, and I just watched this the other day, which is kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of Ernest Scared Stupid, even though that's rated PG. Like you watch that movie, that first half is genuinely fucking terrifying in some kind of respects, like especially from a kid's point of view. I saw that when I was 11, man, and I'm like, this is kind of scary for a kids movie.
It worked. Didn't they repurpose Killer Clown masks?
Yes. For all the trolls. Yep.
For all the trolls. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it still holds up. It's a pretty goofy fucking movie still, but it holds up really well.
That's brilliant.
A few of the Ernest movies still hold up. They're sweet. Ernest Saves Christmas is a good one.
Oh, it's a great one. Yeah.
Scared Stupid is good. I think Ernest Goes to Jail is a fun one as well.
It's fun, but it's one of the ones that's kind of a little less, like it fell off a little bit. But then, yeah, once you get past, like once you get to like Slam Dunk Ernest and all that kind of stuff,
the camp one was atrocious.
I like Ernest Goes to Camp. That's the original one.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it in a couple of years. I don't know if it holds up like it used to. No, but the two best, I agree with you, Script, are probably Ernest Saves Christmas is probably the best one. And then Scared Stupid is probably right behind that, I'd say, as far as quality. And then maybe like you could throw in either Ernest Goes to Jail or Ernest Goes to Camp, in my opinion. But yeah,
I liked Ernest Goes to Prison.
That's the Ernest Goes to Jail one. Yeah,
that's the one where he makes a gun out of a bar of soap and then it melts away.
I just remember that one the most.
Well, and it's like, I think Barkley's in that one and Ernest Scared Stupid. So those two, that's the only, because otherwise there's a few characters who show up in every one of his movies, but like I always liked Barkley. Like his name wasn't Barkley in the movie. That's his real name. Rimshot was the name of the dog in the movie, but Barkley is one of the only animal actors to have his own IMDb though. And he's been a producer.
I know it's long.
I know. Yes. Yeah.
I know it's a much longer discussion, but I mean, unless you want the gore, which is fine. I mean, there's plenty to be said about gore, but like Alien, the original Alien movie. I mean, how much of that is the R rating, right? Like the presence of a single alien on the ship itself, the actual visuals of the alien.
Oh, Alien would get PG-13 easy now, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not making it R rated, but it is.
Even the
Terrifying.
original Halloween would, probably even with the tits. No. Like, because there's hardly, I don't think there's, what, maybe one, if not any F words in that movie? I'm trying to remember now. I don't think there is. And at this day and age, Halloween is so fucking quaint. It's basically a TV movie at this point. Like, the amount of violence and the problems with it. But anyway, I think Five Nights at Freddy's has a good chance to do well. Good for them. They need that to make up for all that Exorcist money they spent. Speaking of scoops, I did get that scoop right. It did drop today on streaming as I reported on the 11th of October. So there you go. Exorcist, that is. I mean.
Oh yeah.
And so moving on, we've got Tiger Valley, who says follow many YouTube channels outside the pop culture political spheres, from food, cars, history, art, etc. Down everywhere. It's a site-wide problem. Yeah, I think we were just discussing this earlier. I don't know if you were in here when we were discussing some of it before, but yeah, they also did something earlier today, it seems like, because we were in the middle of Mr. H's stream, like everybody had to refresh the chat.
The chat froze. I was watching it.
Yeah, and so that usually tells me they had done something. So yeah, they've been doing something for the last few weeks. I think you're right on this, Tiger Valley. And yeah, I follow all kinds of different channels too, and I've noticed my alerts have been wackadoo too. Like I didn't like this one channel that I know, like Clockwork. I had to go look for the video, and normally I get the alert every week, right? So I know exactly what you're saying, Tiger Valley, and I wish I had a solution for you other than the best one that we came up with earlier is just to follow us on our socials. And if you can't do that, like Nick had a good idea, just kind of like make a little note on your computer, like you can do it in your little calendar or whatever you got, or a phone or whatever. Just write down when you know your favorite shows are on, and that way you should remember and just check in with us. Because I think somebody couldn't even find somebody tweeted at me earlier that they couldn't find the stream for today, and I had it up for over an hour before the show started.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah, they could, and I've had that too happen where I can't find people's streams. You go right to their channel and you can't even find the shit. It's crazy how sometimes that shit works. But thank you for the 35 South African Rand, Tiger Valley. But yeah, I wish I had a better solution than that. You're more than just a random viewer.
Nah,
Tiger
dude,
Valley.
You're a supporter of Midnight's Edge After Dark, and presumably Midnight's Edge, man.
That's dark, Captain Bones. We're in a war zone, like a really, really real war zone. Oh shit. That'd be fucked. Well, he did Ernest in the Army. That was not a very good one, though. His last one was Ernest Goes to Africa, though. That was the saddest of the bunch. And he died. And you are not just some random wrench, D-Bud. Jesus. Kim, man. Ernest and the Genderius. That'd be the new one now.
Yeah.
I'm a girl now. I'm a really real girl now. Ernest goes to girl school.
To med school. Yeah.
Yeah, Ernest goes to med school. Yeah.
Ernest goes to gender affirming care.
Yeah. My insurance cover this? Oh no.
Which is weird because Ernest has a character where he goes in drag.
That's true. He has a couple actually.
Yeah.
The old lady and the like trailer lady, and he might even have a third one. I'm trying to remember. He's got the old lady that talks like this. It always has the neck thing on. And then he's got the trailer lady that's, always doing you got to get your hair done and your nails done, all that stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think he has a third one, but I could be wrong. Oh, I've got his show right here, actually.
Oh, hey, Vern, I'm on TV. Yeah.
Hey, Vern, it's Ernest. And I also have a collection of all his old commercials and stuff, too, on top of it. But yeah, you know how much it is to get Ernest Scared Stupid right now on Blu-ray because it's out of print?
Probably
it's like $70, $80 or more. Yeah. DVDs go for like $40, $50.
I'm still waiting for St. Elsewhere. I know there's probably a lot of things.
I can't believe they haven't done that. Well, it was on for a lot of years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on.
Well, 6 seasons with
Only
an
6?
all-star cast.
It was only on 6. Why does it feel like it was on a lot longer than that?
I mean, it had a lot of great episodes. I mean, I've got the
I don't know what
version.
would be holding that up.
I can only imagine it must be something to do with the talent in the network I mean, there's a lot of talent on that. We're talking about.
Well, I
like
don't think
Denzel
music would have
Washington and
anything
stuff,
to do with it. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe, but I don't think it matters because at that point, there's not much they can do about it. So
I
I'm
haven't a clue
surprised.
what's holding it up, but
Yeah.
it's kind of shocking.
It's
with
never
the
even got a
with the
DVD
cast
release
of
at
that.
all?
Yeah.
It's never
I mean,
been put on DVD.
the first season got released, right? And then they just
Oh.
completely abandoned it.
Well, then
Maybe it
you
didn't
know what
sell
that
well
means,
enough,
CC?
but
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's generally what that means. Is that the first season didn't sell, so they just abandoned
it's
it. Yeah.
just it's such a great show. It's
The
kind
upshot
of
you
like,
got now is that they're remastering everything for streaming. So they've been certain companies. I don't know who did it originally. I'm trying to remember because Paramount's been really good actually about releasing their classic shows. Universal's been real good at releasing their classic shows. The rest, not so much. Like Warner's hit and miss. Columbia's been very miss, surprisingly considering.
It's probably going to be Universal.
Was
to
it
be safe out
Universal?
there. I think so because it was
Was
Mary
it on
Tyler Moore,
NBC?
right?
I think
Yeah.
or was it
It
her
was
production?
Mary Tyler Moore on NBC. It most likely might be, might be Universal eventually.
So I can't believe they haven't. There's got to be a reason then, because Universal's pretty good about releasing their shows. I mean, even if they don't release them, they release them through Mill Creek. Like right now, this last week, I don't know if you still can get it. You could get the entire series of Miami Vice for like $29 on Blu-ray.
You know
That's
what?
cheap.
I think I know why there's a delay on the DVD side of things. 20th Century Fox backed the DVD release of it, and they don't exist anymore. So the rights are probably split between NBC, Universal, and Disney.
Or I wonder if Fox
Ouch.
sold them originally, you mean, is what you're saying? Because
Yeah.
Fox was releasing a lot of MGM titles for a while there too. So I don't know. I wonder if they were.
Yeah.
Did you look to see who owned it all, or that's who it says?
Well, NBC is the one that produced it for television and stuff,
Right.
but it looks like the DVD rights or the at-home secondary market rights were acquired by 20th Century Fox back in 2006. And as far as I know, it hasn't
So
reverted back
Disney
to
owns it now,
Universal.
basically. Yeah. Huh.
But that's something to research, get more details on, because you never know, that might be one of the things holding it up. Maybe it's a property that Disney has in their coffers that they're unaware of, because they have a lot of stuff they
I
don't
can't
really
see it
know.
on Disney Plus.
It would
It's
never
one of
go
those
on.
things. Like,
no. But they should have it on Hulu.
well, that's it, right? I mean, like Disney Plus is never going to be Netflix because there's so many things that won't fit on Disney Plus. They won't put on there. Hulu could be
Or your
a
equivalent up
service
there.
that has, yeah.
Well, you never know.
But I mean,
The
Disney.
No, sorry, CC. I was just going to say a lot of these shows are coming back now because they're learning the fast system is the better way to go. Especially, I think it was Zaslav himself who said we've got all these old shows we're just sitting on.
Yep.
Why don't we get them out there so people can watch them and make some money on them? So I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't pop up before too long.
And Six brought up the article yesterday, which unfortunately we didn't get through. But commercial ads for fast television, for fast shows on streaming, are going to be more lucrative because they're not going to have as many minutes per episode for commercials as compared to network and cable. So if you have a really good hit show on a streaming service, instead of having the normal, I think it's 4 to 8 minutes per hour, you're going to have like 2 to 3 per half hour or so.
Well, I mean, isn't the standard nowadays 42 minutes to the hour?
Oh, well, on network stuff for that usually, but that's not just for ads. That's also for whatever the affiliate. So that's either the affiliate or the broadcast network has for basically news alerts and anything else in between. But yes, you're going to have basically 50% less ad time frame on a streaming service with the proposed new models compared to network and cable, which means that if you want a commercial on that show, you got to pay more because you only have that limited amount of time to jump on.
I hope it succeeds. I mean, 50 minutes, I'm okay with that. 42 is it gets that's part of that just pushes me away. It's a lot of
because we're getting back to the 60s model where you only had 10 minutes of commercials per every hour. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The Star Trek fan films were doing that too. They were setting it to 50 minutes. because it was back, accurate
The
to
old
the day.
runtime, yep.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for hopping in here tonight. We're going to have Nick Weiser's stream here starting up in about 35 minutes, I think, Nick, right?
Slightly less, so you
Slightly
won't have to
less.
wait here long. So yeah, Toxic Tuesday tonight, Army of Darkness. So it's gonna be
Nice.
fun. It's gonna be. Oh, I know. I'm really excited about this one. So
Director's cut or boomstick edition?
oh, we're gonna talk
Theatrical edition's the only
yeah,
good
we're gonna
one.
talk theatrical edition, but we'll discuss the other cuts because there's so
Nah, yeah.
many endings. There's no way we can't not acknowledge the elephant in the room with that. So
The only time I use or acknowledge the alternate ending, and it's just the ending, I still use the theatrical cut, is when I would do my Uber cuts for Friends. Because you can cut all 3 movies together as one movie without any credits, any of the overlap bullshit. You lose like the recap stuff at the beginning of 2 and some of the stuff at the end of 2, but that's about it. Otherwise, it cuts together seamlessly, and you wouldn't even know it. And it kind of fits too because there's different actors. Because there's always different actors and shit in different costumes and doing weird shit in the first movie anyway. So it kind of plays along with that in the second half when you're just kind of like, yeah, you don't really notice, even though I think they changed the name of the character too. You don't even really notice.
They did change the name.
Yeah. From Cheryl, from what was her name?
Cheryl to Linda.
Yeah.
Cheryl to Linda. And
I mean,
also,
I could go in and
could have just
that,
used the scenes from Evil Dead 2 to recap for Army of Darkness. No, instead they had to not only reshoot the scenes, but you see the new hairdo, not the look from the second movie. I'm like, wow, they really had to go that route. So now they reshot that scene for that third movie. So I'm like, we'll have our jokes and take our shots at it. But yeah. Anyways, Toxic Tuesday, Army of Darkness, less than a half hour. Please come hang out. This is our last spooky one before we do a whole month of Roger Moore, James Bond.
Oh, so I get a whole month off. Unless I watch them.
A whole month off.
Well, I could go back and watch them, I guess.
But you never been much of
I think that's where I left off. Well, I started watching them with Robert Meyer Burnett and all that thing to lead up to No Time to Die, and I just didn't get them in time, and it just wasn't my bag exactly. Maybe I'll come back around to it. But CC, what you got going on?
Friday night karaoke.
All right.
That's my main gig.
All right. Script.
My girlfriend has made me a sandwich, so I'm going to go eat that.
Ooh.
It's a sandwich.
Lucky man.
Yeah, indeed. Mikey, what about you? You got a sandwich waiting for you?
No, because I am here all alone and Bambino doesn't do shit. But what I do have that I can promote is that I just ordered a new cable on Amazon while you boys were talking, and it arrives Thursday.
I hope it's just your cable, because otherwise you need a new mic. And with that, you can find me hanging out with Nick for a bit here, or in a bit here, or however you want to put it. And yeah, I'll be on the morning show most likely as well. So take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you very, very soon.